Printing trillions out of thin air is going to fabricate a massive dollar shortage. The chart of money printing that has gone on since 2008 looks like a hockey stick. Sure, the US just got done printing 3.4 trillion, but every dollar printed by the Fed has been followed by a debt burden 16 times greater. Today, in the US, there is 63 trillion of combined public and private debt. In emerging markets alone, 9 trillion US dollars has been borrowed. Since 2014, the dollar index has surged. A stronger dollar means dollar-denominated debt is more expensive. Countries around the world seeing their local currencies collapse in relation to the US dollar is crumbling the global economic environment, and global debtors won't have the dollars to pay those debts. This will initiate an evaporation of wealth, and this is very much where we will see a dollar shortage. When everybody wants their money back, there's never enough. This could very well be the death knell for the economy. Major economic consequences are taking shape. In 2016, the US government paid $432 billion to service the interest on its debt outstanding. Consider that in 2008, our interest expense was $450 billion. We actually paid more to service our interest on our debt in 2008 than we did in 2016, when our debt was 50% lower at around 10 trillion. Unsustainably low interest rates. Arguably, if GDP was effectively rising, we could justify going into more debt. The problem is only worsening. Debt is massively outpacing GDP, hence an exponentially growing debt to GDP ratio. Before the 2008 crisis, our debt to GDP was 65%. Today, it's at 106% and rising. Globally, we are looking at a huge financial mess. Europe is in an economic and political tailspin. Like a massive star exploding into a supernova, debt is rising at an alarming pace. There is currently more than 230 trillion in global debt outstanding, and that's 3 times the amount of debt that the world held during the credit crisis. Look at China. There are 27 ghost cities the size of New York City. China used more cement from 2011 through 2013 to build out their infrastructure than the US used in the entire 20th century. No doubt, this spending out of an empty pocket will certainly create a massive shockwave through the global financial markets when it implodes. Locally, real income is collapsing in the US. Ever wonder why the average person working for General Motors in the 1950s made $50 per hour in today's terms? We've undermined the free market with government rules and regulations that have deteriorated our economy, constantly sacrificing future prosperity for immediate gratification, which is taking a toll. According to the Economy Policy Institute, America has lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA, and at least 50,000 factories have either closed or moved overseas. Markets have been trying to deflate since 2008, but the Fed has been fighting this left and right with artificial stimulus. What we have enjoyed for the last 8 years is an economy based on debt expansion that is going to pop in a credit-crunching, bubble-bursting fashion. 2016 saw a high of 13 trillion in negative yielding debt globally circulating. Interest rates are on the rise, and the amount of debt in negative territory has shrunk to 9 trillion now. The problem is the global economy can't afford a meaningful interest rate hike on the $230 trillion of debt outstanding and is dependent on endless stimulus. Here at CrushTheStreet.com, we believe a rising interest rate environment and a strengthening dollar will cause a massive disruption to the structure of the global house of cards. Just a Fed funds rate that gets back to our 45-year average of 5.8% could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Millennials are not saving because they are broke and scared of the markets. Baby boomers are working longer and worried to retire for the same reasons. We've witnessed a perpetual sluggishness with a non-existent recovery that has arguably only been seen in the waitressing and bartending sector. These are not options for those who want to prosper and thrive, which is why we are offering real solutions. To break out in this environment, you have to save and invest like the pros, being in front of trends before they take shape. Visit crushthestreet.com/prosper2017 for a complete guide to our top 2 2017 trends. There comes a point where you have to save. Out of every dollar you make, you have to take a portion aside and say, this is for my freedom and this is for my future. Where you allocate your money truly matters. $43 trillion of new wealth has been created since 2000. Since 2009, we know that 95% of new wealth has gone to the top 1%. Some of you have been fortunate enough to have staked a claim on a portion of this wealth, and the time is now to protect it and be ahead of what is to come in 2017. Immediately visit crushthestreet.com/prosper2017 for your free guide.
Thank you.